Hey guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do something really quick before this video starts. This whole thing that you're about to see is a series of videos for a challenge series I've done for myself called How to Not Suck at Video Games, obviously from the title below. Basically what the objective of this particular game, in this case Banished, is I have to survive at least 10 years in game, which is like the critical fail point in that game. Like, most people don't survive more than 5 or 10 years because that's when old age happens. Anyway, what you're going to see in the upcoming videos is going to be me trying to survive, and I can't guarantee that I will, but let's find out. Alright, so, for those of you that do not know, what is Banished? Banished, in the best way I could describe it, would be kind of like playing Age of Mythology combined with just a hint of Civ City, and a couple other games. Anyway, the objective is your people have been banished from their homeland, and what you're trying to do is get it to where they can build their own civilization, to where they do not starve, they do not freeze, they do not die of dysentery, they do not die from cowboy butt sex. Doesn't matter. Anyway, basically the objective of this video is I have to, and I will get to the objective in a second, actually, now that I think about it. The game is notoriously difficult at trying to survive more than 3 to 5 years or so, and one of the achievements I believe is to last 10 years. Now, I've racked up personally at least 100 hours into this game, excuse me, before I put it on Steam. I had a DRM version of it, and now that I've got it on Steam, I'll be able to earn the achievements once again. Now, let's go ahead and do this, and I'm going to show you. This is probably going to be a pretty long tutorial video, but I might fast forward a good bit of it. So anyway, let us begin. We're going to go ahead and just say surprise me, don't care what any of it's called. Like I said, I'm going to be 100% totally legitimately fair. And okay, so okay, first of all, we're going to go ahead and pause so I can show you exactly how I would handle the situation. You go into your menu right here for tools and reports. You always want to have this handy because this will tell you when someone's born, when someone dies, whenever somebody gets laid, which would be completely evident by them having children. Now, this right here obviously is your event log. This right here is how many people you have, how much of every resource you have, and down here will be the professions, which is obviously your jobs, but that's pretty cool. You can have this resource limiter right here, which will be kind of handy if you're trying to control how much trade you have. But let's just go ahead and get a survey of the land really quick. So let's say we're surrounded by hills, which we could put a mine. I would put a mine, say, around here somewhere. Open quarry could be right here, a little bit away from everything. First thing we're gonna do, we're not gonna worry about doing what is it? We're not gonna worry about building farm, and I'll explain as thus. Let me go ahead and get this fishing here, fishing here. The reason you don't want to do a farm is because, keep in mind, if you've only got like 10-20 people, you're not going to be able to generate the kind of stuff you need quick enough to actually facilitate 10-20 people. Now, the other people we're going to go ahead and, again, we're going to build a boarding house next. And we're going to go ahead and set the priorities. We're going to go ahead and run this at full speed, and we're going to go ahead and go. Now, keep in mind, it's early spring, so it's 21 degrees outside. These people are cold. They're not going to want to be out very long. So the boarding house will be enough to keep people from dying, obviously. Now, once we get the fisheries and stuff taken care of, then we're going to worry about getting our stone and wood, predominantly wood, because wood is actually much more important than stone. So let's go ahead and drop that down to 6. Always try to have at least 1 or 2 extra citizens around, laborers, because in the off chance, in the event, I shouldn't say off chance, but in the very high probability that somebody dies, the laborers will immediately, whoever is left will become the next logical choice. So we're going to go ahead and work on this. Now over here we can put a forestry because it'll take us a while to expand. Now keep in mind we're going to go in milestones of 3, 5, and 10 years. So if I fail between any point, then we could say I failed. And I might actually split it up between the 3, 5, and 10 year states. And that was my coffee cup. Sorry guys. Anyway. Let's see, we have an adult working as a laborer now, which is fantastic. Let's see, we have the wood, we have the logs. Now, we're going to go ahead and have them extract all this log. All of this log. We don't need any of this log here. And I do have a plan for how we're going to handle all of this, guys. Like I said, you don't have to follow the exact formula that I'm following. While it would be nice to have someone actually acknowledge that I'm not an idiot, it's not necessarily a requirement. Go ahead and bring that up to full. And our goal to last those 10 years is to make sure that we don't have too low of health. We don't run out of food. Obviously, people can't starve to death. You can't let that happen. Look, right now our reserve of firewood and food is low, predominantly because our inventory has been eaten up. So don't freak out. They just moved all the food over, so relax. Everything is fine. So right now we've got our fish, and we can go ahead and drop that down. We can start focusing on our food. Thank you. Okay. Now, as far as our logs, let's go ahead and get to our Forester Lodge, which will go right about here. And see this right here, these we do not want to get rid of. These herbs, they'll be good to help us get our food stuffs. We're going to want to put a hunter cabin right about there. That way we actually have something to focus upon. Excellent. We're actually off to a pretty good start, if I had to say so. Something to build when you get the time. Go ahead and build some roads. You know, just something. Because it helps expedite everything. It really does. And you'll take note that I am still virulently building a road. Let's see, it's late autumn, year 1, so far we're doing pretty good. And you'll notice we're not actually starving now. Everything is taken care of. We got food. We're churning out food. We're doing all this. Potatoes aren't too bad. We got fish. So we're actually becoming a pretty fish-based economy. Look at them deer. Look at that deer. Oh my, look at that. Alright, more to the point. What we need to focus on right now is the lack of firewood. So let's go ahead and fix that right now. So, woodcutter. Go ahead and focus as much as we can on, let's go ahead and pause all requirements on that. We'll worry about that once winter's over. How about that, ladies and germs? So right now, we need to make sure everybody stays warm enough to where they don't die, like, entirely painfully and awfully. And that's not going to really happen so far because we do actually have firewood to spare. So that's good. I have full bases are loaded. Let me go over here. Unpause. And now that we got the wood taken care of, as you can see, we can start focusing on... What can we start focusing on? Let's go ahead and get this out of the way right now, because my rule of thumb is every 5 to 10 buildings in a major area, always try to go and have your oh crap, I'm on fire and preventatives around. So, you know, having a well around will keep your entire city from falling down and catching on fire and pulling a Hindenburg. Alright guys, so as you can see there, and I do apologize for the weird cutoff points, but I actually made the entire video, and I'm going to go ahead and make it in individual segments because I don't think anybody wants to sit there for over an hour. Anyway guys, what I've accomplished in this so far is I've got the base mechanics of everything down. I've got pretty much everything started to where nothing horrible is going to happen, as we hope. At any rate, that's going to complete it for the first episode of How Not to Suck at Banished series. So, as always guys, I thank you for checking out the channel, and be sure to rate, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe to my videos. Pretty much any kind of love is appreciated, any kind of input, any kind of output, giggity, that could possibly happen. Be sure to check out Vocal Tracks if you're a Vocaloid fan, because that's where a lot of my music videos will be going to, as well as on this channel. So, disable ad block, all the kind of good stuff you always see me do, and cue the outro video now.